Welcome, and thank you for joining Between Sessions with Justin and Challee.
Just a quick disclaimer before we start. This podcast is for educational and conversational purposes only. It's not intended to replace therapy, counseling, or professional mental health care. We are sharing lived experiences and reflections, not prescriptions, and we encourage our listeners to seek professional guidance when needed.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Our topic for this week is back to school anxiety, specifically parents experiencing back to school anxiety.
Ooh,
I know, we always talk about the kids, but
we
I
do.
want some attention on the parents.
I think this could be so beneficial. Well, I mean, clearly, it's under-talked about. And some of the things that we can cover in this probably isn't stuff that you'd really talk to your friends about or, other parents, because it might be maybe embarrassing or just not talked about enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where do you want to start?
What causes parents to feel anxious about back to school time?
The first thing that comes to mind for me is like the financial piece.
Ugh.
School supplies, school clothing, having to get in that new routine of like lunch money, things like that. Like maybe that shouldn't be the focus, but that's something that comes to me because I remember seeing like my parents struggle with that and trying to figure it out. And it just adds so much more stress that then flows into other areas of life.
No, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, it's hard because you want your kids to have everything that they need for school, but even the essentials like the school supplies are
binders, $10.
yeah,
Ridiculous.
they're getting so expensive, but like they need it. You can't send your kid to school without something because then it's like, I don't know, for me as a parent, I'm like, I need to send him with everything he needs because he needs it. And I don't want the teachers being like, hey, cheapskate, can you send your kid in with what they need? But like, you're so right. And it's like the older they get, the more they need, where you get up to high school and these kids need like freaking $10 binders per subject. And it's like,
Right.
what?
We're not having the 50-cent crayon boxes or 10-pack of colored pencils. The calculators.
My gosh. Yeah.
The calculators. But again, back to that situation, what do? Do you put it on a credit card? Do you not eat for the week that you have to buy this calculator? Because that's sometimes where we're at, especially this day and age when things keep on rising. This is probably even more so this year coming into it, a bigger stressor.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do about that?
I try to really promote like back to school drives. Like there's a lot of them where you can go and you can get, a backpack filled with supplies. That can be very helpful.
Just to get some of the basics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't need everything in that, maybe kind of redonating it.
Yeah, like paying it forward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So using those community resources, finding deals.
Yeah, I was so mad last year because I went back to school shopping at Walmart and then I stopped at Five Below.
Ooh.
Right? And I was like, they have freaking backpacks, like nice character backpacks. They're like $5.55. And I'm like, I just dropped $20 on a Mario backpack and there is a Mario backpack right here. So yeah, maybe shopping around a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to grow out of the backpack anyways, so it does not have to be the best of the best. If they like it for them, they're either going to grow out of it in the following year or sometimes not even use it.
Yeah, that actually blows my husband's mind. We had like this whole conversation about backpacks because I went to get my son a new backpack and my husband was like, what's wrong with his backpack he used last year? And I'm like, that's last year's backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband was like, I had one backpack. And I'm like, I was baffled because I'm like, what? We get a new backpack every year. But it did kind of make me like stop and think like, do we need a new backpack every year? I don't know. But yeah, that's a huge thing. And then, okay, so you've got all the supplies, but like back to school clothes.
Can we just normalize thrifting?
Oh my gosh, I love thrifting so much. I do not care where I am at in my career. I will never not buy my clothes at the thrift store. Like the only time I don't buy clothes from the thrift store is if we are like on vacation and I want a t-shirt that says like wherever we're at. That is oh no, wait, I lied. I did buy a shirt from Five Below. It was $5. It was pretty bougie, but my gosh, yes, I love Once Upon a Child. I get both of my kids' clothes there. And I'm even cheap with there because they have a deal right now. Go to Once Upon a Time. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be happening, so I shouldn't say it, but it was all clearance was half off and it was buy five, get five free. So your
Ah,
girl got 10 new outfits for the baby and it was like $16.
oh my goodness. Okay, let's even back this up. Obviously, that's great for the wallet, but also great for the environment too. The amount of like one use or one wear clothing that people have and then donate, don't fit into, didn't like the way that it fit, and then we go out and buy something different. Being able to utilize this and buy some of those really nice staples for kids is also going to be a piece. Maybe not having every specific outfit, but buying some of those staples that are interchangeable, things that look good now and last into different seasons too, because kids are growing like weeds. So they're going to grow out of it, but get the most use out of it while we can.
Mm-hmm.
So being, on a budget, but just being mindful. And because that money can go other places too. Experiences, things to enjoy rather than something that they're going to wear once, not like the way that it fits. Trying things on, make them try things on.
I hate trying clothes on.
I know, me too. Every fitting room should have a fan in it. Torrid did that. Just that's the goat. But try things on because if you get it home, if you didn't like it there, you're not going to like it at home. Or the odds of it going back and getting returned in this crazy life is really challenging.
So true. So true.
So being mindful when we're shopping, taking that time, if it's taking like a dedicated time to go and do that, maybe the kids don't really want to, but once you get it home, trying it on, but like trying to be mindful of those things.
And if you see how excited I get with thrifting, I love thrifty shopper is my jam. I make a big deal out of it at home too.
Yeah.
No, we are not going to pay full price. And so I get everybody hyped up at home. Like I came home from Once Upon a Child and I sat my husband down.
Do you do a fashion show?
Well, no, because this was a trip for the baby and I'm not getting her in and out of stuff. But I was like holding it up and I was like, this was 70 cents. And like just being so excited because she's too little. But like my son went to Once Upon a Child with me. We were looking at stuff. He didn't need anything. So we didn't, really browse for him. But he saw how excited I was to get things on sale and to get things like super cheap. And like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like I make it cool. Like when my friend comes over, I will brag to her like, hey, look at these jeans that I just got for $3. Like I don't make it like, I'm so sorry that we can't afford new stuff. So sorry you can't get the cool. No, I'm like, listen, I could get you one t-shirt or I could get you like 6 new outfits for the same price. Like I make it so it's the coolest thing.
Yeah. So a lot has to do with language in that.
Sorry.
And you also need it.
So yeah, just like making it okay. I freaking love thrifting. Like you will never find me in anything full price. Like I'm looking now and I'm like, these jeans are definitely from Thrifty Shopper. And I'm pretty sure this t-shirt I got from Walmart for $1.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never not be that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are just, for some of us, better places we can spend our money.
Yeah.
I love that. So, not that it can completely alleviate having to do it, but being able to be wiser of where we're spending that money to take some of that pressure off, especially as budgets get tighter and kids need more things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, that's definitely a big stressor. The other one is getting everybody back on a schedule and a routine.
Oh, parents and kids.
Yes.
Oh, no.
But like the kids are not responsible for getting back in, like the parent is responsible for the most part, right? For getting everybody back on a routine. And that can be stressful. You have to think like I've totally rearranged my work schedule and stuff for the summer because I don't get the summers off. So I have to like figure stuff out. And now I'm going to have to like maybe do more rearranging in the fall because now we have to work in like bus pickup or drop off times or whatever. I'm sitting here smirking because I'm like, I don't, because we're homeschooling next year. But I have. And so I know that stress of like, during the summer, getting to work early in the morning really isn't that big of a deal because I don't have to factor in like, okay, I have to drop this kid off here at school, then I have to drop the baby off at daycare, then I have to get to work. Like, we can just go right to work.
What full-time job is from 8 to 2 p.m.? It's really a challenge to work in that schedule after you've already adjusted to not having, that set schedule for the summer, finding childcare, figuring out, rearranging schedules to then 2 months later flop and do this again. It can be a lot of stress.
Moms are superheroes. Like, we'll get it done.
Of course.
But it's definitely some additional stress.
How early before the school year starts do you think we should start to work back into that schedule?
So I actually this year, last year was like a free for all. I don't even know what the heck I was doing last year. It's a blur.
Yeah,
This
pregnant.
year, I was pregnant. Okay, I'm gonna blame that. I was pregnant. It was a free for all. This year, my son, he was done with school and he got like maybe a week of a free for all. And then my husband got woken up at 3 a.m. by a YouTube video playing on the big screen in the living room. And he was like, we're going back on a schedule because he might be out of school, but like, we still gotta work. And I'm like, fair. So I decided going forward, my kid is staying on a schedule. So normally during the school year, it is like electronics off by 8:30 in bed, and then, everything off at 9. So I let him like put Bluey on the TV in the background from like 8:30 to 9. But at 9, everything's off, lights off, everything. So we've kind of done that, except it's 11. So we'll give him till 11 p.m. and then everything shuts off. And that has worked out really good. And I feel like it's going to make it a lot easier. So I would say the first part is don't ever take them off of a schedule. It doesn't have to be the school schedule. It could be a summer schedule, but they still need a schedule of some sort.
Yeah. That structure can be so important.
And if you do that, I don't know, 2 weeks maybe,
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks to get back on track, I would I'm a big fan of baby steps. So I would say like, all right, it's August. We're going to start getting ready and going to bed by 10. I'm just going to, and then, so by the time you hit September, you should be good to go, I would say. So I would like,
so easing into it.
yeah, that's what I do. But I would say definitely give yourself 2 to 3 weeks to get back on that routine. So financial is a big cause of parental anxiety. Another one, we talked about anxiety with kids going back to school, like what their anxieties might stem from. And one of them was safety. And that is a big one with parents too, is we're worried as well about our kids' safety. I was terrified. It's not a good feeling, but like my kid doesn't follow rules. And I feel like that makes it extra scary because it's like, I can't trust you to follow the rules, because if you saw the last episode, what did I say? If you follow procedure 99.9% of the time, it will work out okay. But if your child doesn't follow the rules, it adds another layer where it's like, so I definitely can understand feeling scared. And also, like, people market stuff based off of fears. So they're like marketing bulletproof backpacks now. And it's like when it really comes down to it, I don't know. It can help to ease your anxiety, I guess, if your kid has a bulletproof backpack. But shit goes down. Like, your kid's not running to the cubby to grab their backpack. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of hype in the media too with like bulletproof backpacks, and now parents like don't get their kids light up shoes just in case. And that like really sucks that you have to be that scared of your kid's safety that they don't get the cool light up shoes anymore.
So safety in that sense of like literal physical safety and the disasters that can happen in school. How do we kind of calm that? Not that we're going to take it completely away, but like, what are some ways that we can calm that?
I don't know, but if you figure it out, let me know, because that would be great. Because I feel like as a mom, I'm just constantly worried for my kids' safety. One thing I think helps is talking with them about the different risks so that like, that they know what to do in an emergency. That can help ease your mind a lot.
And that's an uncomfortable conversation. There is nothing comfortable about that. But so that was going to be my suggestion, was like just talking about it, knowing that it's there. If we completely ignore it, then it's harder to talk about. That uncomfortable conversation just gets bigger and more uncomfortable. And then we're less prepared, they're less prepared. And then if they do have a fear about it, it's a lot harder for them to come to you about it. So starting that uncomfortable conversation.
Yes, definitely.
Because again, I mean, as we've talked about, like our brain goes into survival mode and it's panic. If we've never let out all those fears that we have with it because we're afraid to talk to peers, we can't talk to the parents. Goodness, if we mention it in school, who knows what will happen.
Yeah.
So allowing some form of that conversation so that, God forbid, something does happen, they don't just instantly go into panic and just completely shut down
Mhm.
either. So having that conversation, as uncomfortable as it is,
But I
normalizing it.
love the point you made where, like, if you open that door to that conversation, your kids will feel more comfortable coming to you with their fears as well. I love
hmm
that.
So thinking about other safety things that are more minor but still relevant in that sense is like bullying or just them not being by your side or in your reach.
Within your reach, yeah.
I think that's got to be a big piece of like they're gone for however many hours that is outside of family or outside of your trusted daycare. There's so many other factors that go into it. With that, I think again, communication, helping them understand the importance of whether it be the rules or being able to speak up or advocate and know when things don't feel right, that something might not be right.
Mhm.
So really being able to communicate with them. I think a lot of it comes back down to that, truly.
It really does. That
Um,
communication piece.
any other like safety concerns that come to your mind as a mom?
I worry about what my son is hearing
Ooh,
at school from like older
mm,
kids. So, like,
ooh,
what are we talking about? Like, in the lunchroom or
mhm.
like
The bathroom
the bus? Like, that's.
or being exposed to with like
Mhm.
vaping. Like my niece is young, and I'm like, I didn't start smoking at that age, and they're already vaping in the bathroom. Come
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah.
I make this joke and I've used it time and time again, but like I have full control for the most part of my dog's environment, and she still doesn't always behave the way that I want her to. These kids go to school and have all these other influences between kids, YouTube, TV, all those things to find common ground to still have those conversations, to still have the biggest impact that you can. I think is so important because they're exposed to so much more outside of it, especially being in school, so
Yeah.
much more exposure.
Yeah, so that's always a worry of like, but again, what does it come down to? Communication. So I'll tell my son, like, if he hears any words, then he doesn't know what they mean. Like, please ask me first. And I told him, like, you'll never get in trouble if you come to me and you're like, hey, some guy said, I will not yell at you because you don't know what it means. And
Right.
he needs a safe place to be able to say, like, what is this? And then I will say, like, that is a very naughty word. We should not say that.
When I was growing up, Google was becoming much more like prevalent. It's wild for some of the younger viewers to think that like there was a time that Google was just coming up or before ChatGPT. The searches and the things that I had to try and find out or asking other friends, the answers that I got were wild and I didn't need to hear them.
Yes. Yeah.
Opening that door, having that be a safe place, I think that's incredible.
Yeah, because I don't want him Googling stuff.
Because then you get images, then who knows what else is
I
there.
know. Yes. So I'm like, please just come ask me
Yeah.
first. Thank you. Yeah, I'm older than Google. That like blows people's minds. Yeah. So I'm basically a grandparent.
Okay.
Lastly, when kids are starting school. So
Ooh.
like first day of kindergarten, especially if your kid's been like with you, like you have been home with them, but not necessarily. It's like that first day of it's either pre-K or kindergarten or both.
Mm.
It is terrifying for parents.
Not as much for the kid. The
Oh
kids
my
are normally like, bye.
The kids are fine. Or you know what the kids do that really like I just feel like they do it on purpose just to taunt the parents because I worked in the school, so I saw it. Is like the kid would be so upset, crying, upset, like, mommy. And so then obviously the parent would be upset, right? Okay. So then we take the kid into school. 10 seconds later, they're like, toys, friends. Okay, I'm happy. The parent doesn't see that. So the parent spends all day thinking their child is like sobbing and missing them. And I had to explain to so many, like, I had to call so many and be like, they're doing great. Like, they're smiling. They're happy. I promise. They stopped crying 5 minutes after you left. Like, everything's good. But I swear they do it on purpose just to torture us a little bit because they're fine. But yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
Sending your baby. And then everything else, like, just adds to it. Like, you're sending your little precious baby off to kindergarten for the first time. And then the safety stuff is coming in. And then I hope everybody's nice to them. And then it's like, I hope they learn good things and not bad and everything. It's like all just And it's, yeah.
all in that moment. And that can be so overwhelming. And
Mhm.
again, like we've talked about, like our brain, maybe a bear's not chasing us, but our brain isn't thinking through that what if.
Yep.
Our brain is not thinking that, yeah, they're going to be okay and they're going to be fine. No, our brain is focused on that worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe doing some of those different mindfulness pieces like we talked about in the last episode of playing those what ifs through. What if they're bad at school? What if someone's mean to them? Well, we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to work through it. Being able to play through those what ifs, being able to do mindfulness or grounding, to be able to connect back to our physical self and be where our feet are.
You sound like such a therapist. Yes. I just dropped my baby off at kindergarten. What mindfulness can I do? But no, seriously. Also, before any of that, be okay with whatever emotions are coming out. Like, if you
Ooh,
drop your baby off sobbing, like, it's okay. That's okay. If you're crying and it's being okay with those feelings, I think is really important.
yeah.
And then maybe some calming and mindfulness.
Yeah. So if nobody else is validating that, we right here are validating that.
Mom to mom.
And you've experienced that literally firsthand in school of seeing, like, it was not just one mom walking in there in tears. It sounds like it was of many.
It is.
Okay. So you're not alone
No,
in
and
that.
it's different things, like different things trigger different people. So, like kindergarten registration, I
Mhm.
saw some moms crying because it's like you're signing your baby away. First day of kindergarten, like the orientation, like it's all very emotional. Just it's
Yeah.
okay. Feel those emotions. Like this is your baby. It's
Yeah.
okay. And if anyone judges you, give them my number. But yeah, and then just this, like you said, the mindfulness.
Yeah.
Calming techniques. It is not just for therapy. You can, sit in the parking lot for 5 minutes, listen to like a body scan, like we have
Mhm.
body scans,
We do.
listen to some, meditation, just something to kind of re-regulate your nervous system
Nice.
and go from there.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like when I dropped my son off at daycare for the first time, I called 3 times a day.
I was just gonna say, like, sometimes that's okay
Mhm.
too. Like, maybe communicate with that teacher or the school, but like, hey, do you mind if I call and check on just to know that they're okay? Most teachers are gonna be fine with that.
Yeah, actually, you can ask your sister about this because I used to work with his sister, and I would know when my son was supposed to have a bottle, and I would call 30 minutes after that to make sure he ate okay because he did have some feeding
Right,
issues.
right.
But finally, with Andrea's help, I decided I'm going to skip one. I'm going to skip like lunchtime because, I know they got this. Everything's fine. They called me to make sure I was okay. And of course, I panicked because I saw the daycare and I'm like, hello. And they're like, hey, we just wanted to check in. We didn't hear from you. We usually hear from you by now. And I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to kind of ease my anxiety on my own. But yeah, it was a nice feeling of support. But
Fun.
still, like, this is my second time around with this baby. And sometimes I will text daycare and be like, I'm just missing my girl today. Can you send me a picture or something like that? And it's
Yeah.
just being okay to be vulnerable and say, like,
Yeah.
I'm missing my baby. I'm having anxiety. Can you just send me a picture?
Yeah.
So, yes.
I love that. All right. So, in kind of wrapping up, I think some really great information and talked about some vulnerable pieces that it's not really talked about as much. I've heard parents talk about this in therapy of like, I think I'm the only one experiencing. No,
No, you're not.
no, I
Mm-mm.
promise that it's not. And it should be talked about more. So, if there was any of these stressors or triggers for anxiety that we didn't cover that you can think of, please, please, please share that with us. We would love to be able to know about it and cover that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in this week.